We are back again with another great live stream. We have my co-host Tiffany. Say hi, Tiffany.
Hey, Tiffany. Hey, everybody.
And we have our guest here, Brown Liquor Baron, aka Jermaine. His mama called him Jermaine. Is he
How's
there?
it going, everybody?
Hey, Jermaine.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep,
What's
loud and
good?
clear.
What's good, bro?
Hey, not much, not much. Just living the dream.
You living a dream, man? I hear that. I hear that. Everything good? Where you at, man? Where you sound like you in another country, man.
Yes, sir. I'm currently in Quito, Ecuador.
Wow.
Oh man, I thought you was gonna have no, Quito is like the mountain. Had the mountain drops in the back, and working on a rooftop somewhere, man.
It's a lot of rain. It's a lot of rain here. It's a lot of cold, and we're the elevation is I think 9,500 feet, something like that. So we up there. We in the mountains for real.
Where is that
Okay,
in
okay.
Ecuador?
So it's in the northern part of the country. It's not too far, probably 4 hours or so from the Colombian border.
Oh, okay. So where do you fly into when you go there?
You fly directly into Quito.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. I apologize. You fly into a city outside of Quito. So the actual Quito's actual airport is outside of Quito, similar to Medellin.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Cool, cool. Well, for the people who are joining this live, this is the remote work Matic Mondays, talking everything remote work, working abroad, or just single moms want to take care of the kids at the house and don't want to go into the cubicle. We will go over a few jobs that we have found. We will also go over with Jermaine here with working remotely in Ecuador, what is involved. And I know I pulled up a few things that I found very interesting on the benefits of working remotely from Ecuador, someplace I really want to get to soon. It's on my little travel bucket list there. Very nice culture and food and people there. So let's get into what has gone on since last time we were on, Tiffany. We were talking about all kind of great jobs. What's been going on with you?
Well, I've been pretty busy. Um, I finally, after many months and months of turmoil and toiling over this, have finally released sportsandhills.com. So the website is live.
No,
There
hold up, hold
are
up. No, hold up. Are you serious? You finally got that website up.
Yep,
I,
launched last week.
let's get up. Hey,
Hey, it was a labor of love. I'm a perfectionist, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. So I wanted to make sure that I came correct, that I put out and best represented who I am as a content creator, as a traveler, as a remote worker, as a sports lover, as a blogger, and kind of using um, what I've been doing the last 14 months or so and getting that all together so that I could present the people with something that's going to be fun. Best reflects me, talks about my passion, and of course, talks about my favorite sport, which is track and field. So that leads to the second thing I've been doing. It is the completion of indoor season, and I was officiating at the Division I NCAA Indoor National Championships in Birmingham, Alabama. You can find that mini blog on my website, on my socials, sports underscore in underscore heels. I'm really excited for you guys to see what it's like to be an official, to travel as an official for USA Track and Field, doing these meets for NCAA and also for USA Track and Field at all levels, whether it be the junior level all the way up to the master level. So I closed out this, entered my first couple of blog posts, kind of talking about why I love track and field and what kind of brought me to the sport. Why am I so passionate about it? And an inside look on what it was like to officiate this past week. So, really excited for you all to see it. Really excited for you all to get to know a different side of track and field, and hopefully get you excited about the upcoming outdoor season that on the collegiate level, on the high school level, and of course on the world level will be an amazing year. We've got, of course, NCAA outdoor action. We've got Junior Olympic action and Masters action. Professional side, we've got the Diamond League kicking off soon. And the World Championships will be on the U.S. soil for the first time ever. And I will be traveling to Oregon and getting some behind the scenes stuff there too. So I'm really excited and hope you guys get excited about it too.
Awesome, awesome. I am so glad that you've gone on to this next step. Using these platforms to branch out to other things is the key, man. You got to be online. Got to be online these days with something. How
Yep. So my
about
website
you,
will have links to
BLB?
all of
What's
my
been going on?
socials.
Go ahead, Tiffany.
Just saying my website will have links to all my social. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter and Instagram. So you can go to my Instagram, you can go to any of my socials. It's all sports and heels, and find links to all of my content.
Um, all right. Let's see here. Actually, we hold up. Give me one moment here. Yeah. Screen. We are going to go there right now. Get the people what they want. Get the people what they want. We got it here. We have Sports and Heels. If y'all didn't know, her name is Tiffany, spelled Ney. Y'all remember that
Tiffany.
now?
That's right. No
Certified
A.
USATF official. A's for lanes. Beautiful. This is a nice website. And who did you get to create this website for you?
That would be me, myself, and I. That's why it took so long. I created it. I did use Weebly,
You
who has awesome
you created this.
templates. I did. This was all me.
This is your first website too?
Well, a long time ago, I created a website, but I'm not telling nobody about that one. Um, I've been creating, sites for like, remember MySpace? So I've been like dabbling in this social realm of
Oh,
page
hold up.
creation back in
Don't
the
be
day.
showing your age, man.
I don't have a problem showing my
Girl
age.
said,
I'm not ashamed
girl
of
said
my age.
MySpace.
Yeah, I know.
You got Tom. You still talking to Tom? Where's Tom? Where's Tom? Cool. That
So everybody go
was
like,
good.
comment, share, follow, do all of that. All of that.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you.
What's good, Jermaine? What you been up to, man?
Oh man, just grinding, grinding every day. Um, we are actually at my job. We're actually launching a new. Well, it's launching. They're launching a new website actually. So we're going through the same process that you're just going through. It's fun. During the process, got a little bit of an input on it, but that's about it. That's about the gist of events that's been happening at work. Um, Trying to learn this country and understand this the landscape here. Internet seems to be decent. which is a plus. And I think when guys when people start to figure out that they want to work remote and travel, you're gonna have to really, really investigate your internet connection. And I know it seems minor, but some of these places will tell you their internet is great, and it's not. I had to switch a couple Airbnbs because of that.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I think I heard there's an app you can use to check the speed in your actual Airbnb or something like that. But you just kind of went trial and error. You just you went there and then how long have you
Yeah,
been in Ecuador actually?
I've been in Ecuador almost a week, so I think tomorrow will be a full week
Okay.
Wow, so you've had to change locations multiple times in a week already?
already.
Wow.
Um, what they tell you, I'll ask them. So
Oh,
I'll send them a message at a time and let them know that, hey, I work from home, so I need the certain type of internet, and I'll ask them what their speed is. But for most times, people renting an Airbnb, they don't know what their speeds are.
Mhm.
So I'll come in and fortunately, there's some free sites you could just Google speed test for your internet, and it give you you know the output of the internet, and that's once I get here and I start doing that and I see it, I'll say, okay, it doesn't look too good. And then the next step for me is to try my internal system. So I'll log in like I'm doing a regular work day. And if the systems are not working too well, then I have to get on up out of here.
Wow. How hard or
mm.
how easy is it to switch Airbnbs in Ecuador? Like, what's the availability looking like?
It's a lot available. Honestly, there's a lot available. I don't know what is going on with the tourists. When I came down on the plane was basically empty. It was probably about 100, 200 seater, and it was probably halfway full.
Wow.
So they're still
Mm.
recovering from the pandemic, and they're
Yeah.
lightly easing restrictions, but
How did you choose Ecuador as your remote working location this time?
this time I chose it because it's not a lot of people come here, and I wanted to experience it. My plan ultimately is to touch every
I get
country
it.
down here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Now, is
Oh
it the
yeah.
rainy season there or is it
Yeah, they call it winter or something like that, and the forecast when you look on your phone here in Quito,
Mhm.
it is the forecast is rain 7 days a week. It's funny. It'll be like sunny, couple of clouds in the sky, and the forecast is rain. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it doesn't.
In the week that
Yeah, I'm
you
looking at this. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead,
Go ahead.
Adrian. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was looking at the speed test versus the United States, and the United States is ranked on speedtest.net. For mobile is 21, ranked 21, and in Ecuador is ranked 87. in fixed broadband, which is like the Wi-Fi, the U.S. is at rank number 9, and in Ecuador it is 89, ranked 89.
And you
It's
feel it.
crazy. I
You
can
definitely feel it when
show
you
you
get here.
here. So we using you as the test dummy, huh? We get to see if it's feasible to work. Um, if it's feasible to work. Yeah, that you can see it here.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Can you see it? Okay, yeah, yeah. This is United States, 143.62 for mobile, and Ecuador is 33 and 19 for mobile. Yeah, well, you better hurry up and get up on out of there quick. cut your cut your trip short.
I'm not.
No,
I'm
I
not as
because
worried.
I huh?
No, I was saying I'm not as worried
What you,
about keto right now, but I'm concerned about when I leave here to go south to Guayaquil and the beach areas like Montanita. I'm a little bit worried about that area.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, I
I could
was on
see.
speed test. They got an app, I guess. No, go ahead. I was just reading the little messages there. What'd you say,
So do
Tiffany?
you play? You will plan on working while you're in those areas?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, every day. We actually I even worked yesterday, Saturday. So I didn't get enough time because you guys know I record and stuff and upload some videos about the scenery, and I didn't get a real good chance to go out because uh we were filling in for someone who left, which is interesting topic also. You're starting to see companies transition to push people back towards working home, those that they let out, and then you see the numbers are increasing of people that's saying, I'm not going back in the office. I'm gonna quit or resign. So that's what happened to us. We lost a few people to that. They were trying to transition someone on our team, and he decided to take another position somewhere else.
Yeah, and thanks to our president, there's going to be an even bigger push to return to the office. uh,
Mm.
I saw that Biden made comments basically encouraging everyone to get back to the office to fill downtowns.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah, here.
Tonight, I can say we're moving forward safely back to more normal routines. We've reached a new moment in the fight against COVID-19, where severe cases are down to a level not seen since July of last year. Just a few days ago, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention issued a new mask guidelines. Under the new guidelines, most Americans and most of the country can now go mask-free. And based on projections, more of the country will reach a point across the next couple of weeks. Thanks to the progress we made in the past year, COVID-19 no longer need control our lives. I know some are talking about living with COVID-19, but tonight I say that we never will just accept living with COVID-19. We'll continue to combat the virus as we do other diseases. And because this virus mutates and spreads, we have to stay on guard. And here are 4 common sense steps as we move forward safely, in my view. Scientists are working hard to get that done. We'll be ready with plenty of vaccines if and when they pills, then anyone the antiviral pills. We're leaving no one behind or ignoring anyone's needs as we move forward. On testing, over the past, we've gotten much better at detecting new variants. Within our power to be ready if it does. Third, we can end the shutdown of schools and businesses. We have the tools we need. It's time for America to get back to work and fill our great downtowns again with people. People working from home can feel safe and begin to return to their offices. We're doing that here in the federal government. The vast majority of federal workers will once again work in person. Our schools are open. Let's keep it that way. Our kids need to be in school.
Yeah,
look at all them standing up.
he is.
All them standing up about, getting kids back to school and the workers back in the office. Listen, I got a lot of opinions on this and I'll try to keep it as PG as possible. But I just think that that message is so out of touch with what people are actually experiencing out in the streets. Whether they want to acknowledge it or not, we are still in the midst of a global pandemic. People are still dying from this. Um, And the idea that we're okay to just walk into these offices when we've had so much discourse on how this pandemic has been handled from start to finish, and what places have enforced masks and what places haven't. It's just been all over the place, and I'm just kind of, I'm over this idea that we're going to get back to normal. Um, when we've this yes, the numbers have gone down, but reality is people are still actively catching it, and I think it disregards entire communities of people, those who are high risk, those who are disabled, and acts like they don't matter, and their risk of catching the disease and dying from it, or the virus and dying from it, is not applicable. um, and on top of all of that, people don't need to go back in the office. They don't want to go back in the office. They've managed for 2 years to figure out how they can still be productive workers, and still be, live their lives in a different manner, and adjusted to this virus and all the challenges that have come as a result of it, and to this notion that we're going to erase everything that we've learned over the last 2.5 or 2 years and go back to the way it was is ridiculous. It's ridiculous to ask people to change their entire lifestyles to accommodate filling downtowns where most offices aren't even located anymore. It's purely not driven by the people. It's purely driven by those who have leases, who own businesses, who own corporations that want to get workers back into the office, and as an excuse to say that it will increase productivity. And over 2 years, some of these companies have seen record profits. It's just not making sense to me. And I'm really tired of politicians on both sides, playing to corporations and not acknowledging that there's rises in gas prices. There's food shortages currently happening right now. There are, again, people still dying from the disease, and it's just it's really disheartening, as a worker, to know that, when I'm starting to look again, that they're going to be asking me to come back into the office. So, um, I'm going to do my best to not go back into the office, to remain a remote worker, and I hope that, you guys can find a way to do the same. It's just really disheartening.
Um, you're absolutely right. I thought about this for a long time, for years before the pandemic hit, the the realm of remote work, and why were companies so against it? When the statistics when the statistics speak to the productivity of the remote worker, you get more done, you're more engaged in work, your time is more efficient, um, and you're more productive working from home. There is no, hey, I'm at a water cooler. Let's have this conversation about the game last night. You're actually getting work done, and you're able to, at this point in time, you're able to have a nice balance of home work life balance. And I think what we're seeing is somewhat of a small revolution, where people are saying, you know what, if this is not, if you're taking this from us, I don't need to work there. I can find another job. And fortunately for us, there's a lot of companies looking for people remote work, because some companies would say, why am I paying this overhead for a building that we don't need to? We're paying commercial rent is expensive.
Yeah,
And you don't
and going
need
higher and going up and
it is
going up.
because these companies are located in the downtown areas, like you said, which the rent is ridiculous. So it's like, okay, at some point, something's got to give. One, companies don't want to hand out raises. Okay, that's fine. So help a person out by allowing certain companies. Obviously, a production team can't work at home, and that's impossible. But
Yeah.
the positions that can, like your IT, like your support teams, you can do that. You're gonna cut down on traffic. I mean, look at the positives for companies to move towards moving some of their workers home, because there's a lot of positivity in it, and it's very minimal negatives to it. I just don't get the thought process of why you want to pay more rent and have people sit in an office, fight through traffic to get there. With all of these metropolitan cities, you're plagued by traffic wherever. So whatever major city you go to in the United States, and you spend most of your time which you're taking away time from your children, your spouse, your whatever loved ones that you have around you. And it's unfortunate that companies are starting to force and push. And one last thing I'll say is my company did a little pushing, but they were pushing really to find out my vaccination status, which I haven't shared yet. So they said, when we start to transition back, or if we do we decide to transition your position, reverse it and transition your position back in the office, you're going to have to be vaccinated. And I'm just like, okay, that's all I said. It's okay.
Okay. Sure. Whatever you need.
Whatever you need. So
Yeah,
I think it's
I wanted
the way it's going.
Definitely. I wanted to play this little clip I saw on Yahoo Finance the other day. They was talking some great points on this one here.
Continue working from home. And Julie, I know something that warms your heart is a little bit of the anti-boomer sentiment that came up in this story from one person that Bloomberg talked to.
Yeah, the person basically said they feel like this was the quote. They feel like we're not working if they can't see us. It's a boomer power play. I mean, listen, I am somewhere in the middle on this, and I think at the end of the day, most employees will be as well. That the woman they quoted was sort of at the end of her rope after she had been called into the office for what ended up being a 6-minute meeting, and she had to find care for her kids in the meantime, et cetera, et cetera. But really, the point is here, there are benefits to being in person and seeing people in person. We see that over the holiday weekend. Why do people see each other in person and not just on Zoom? It works in a work setting as well as in a social setting. There are benefits. We see the benefits of people wanting to be around other people. But that said, do you need to be there every day and all the time? For a lot of jobs, probably not. But for a lot of people, they've reassessed their priorities in the wake of the pandemic. Priorities of all kinds, including how much they want to be in the office.
Well, I'll just add quickly too. In our field of news, I mean, it's important. I can't tell you how many great stories I've gotten and anecdotes just from riding elevators with executives, and they tell you something, you follow up with them after they get off the elevator or via email after. But ultimately, I'm ready to get back to the office. I mean, that's my new stainless steel fridge behind me, and that's all good. I'm glad people could see that. But I'm ready to get back in the office or fancy studios. There's a lot collecting dust there.
The only problem is you don't want people who go to work to be rewarded while people who choose to stay from home are left behind in some kind of political play. And I think this is the problem that companies haven't yet worked out, which is why we continue to see no movement, at least on our own parent company's front.
Wow, she made a good point about the boomers and power play. It's about control. We know that. We understand that. We've all had those micromanagers who walk by and want to see you working, who are watching you come in and, oh, you leaving early today, or you arriving a little late today. And we're talking about adults here, guys. We're not talking about kids, and the idea that, you have to see me to see that I'm being productive is so outdated and, rooted in something that has nothing to do with production and everything to do with, control. And, those who are proponents, yes, there are some pros to coming back into the office for those who work in an environment where it dictates that, where you need to have those relationship building opportunities. But for a lot of us, like me, I work for a global team. So most of my team are located in other countries or in other time zones. So it doesn't make sense for me to go do this job in a cubicle. It makes no sense for me to do that. So I understand people like to socialize. Going to work for them is they get to meet people, they get to talk to people that they get to build personal relationships with coworkers. That's what you need. But most of us have social lives outside of the workplace, and therefore we don't need to socialize or build a social community from the workplace. So,
with people you work with, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean, I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care about your golf game. I don't care. I don't care.
Right. So we're at the halfway mark. I did want to jump to these jobs. Everybody wants the job, but where can you find the jobs? How can I find them? How can I transfer my skills from the cubicle to remote, or from whatever you're doing to remote? And Tiffany, I have to give credit to Tiffany. She put me onto this TikTok that you just put in remote working, and there's tons of people giving out their recommendations. So I have Tiffany, drop me yours too, if you, that one you had earlier you've told me about. But I will go over some cool companies, some companies that you all actually know, one or two of these. And I was thinking myself, I said, ooh, this contract don't work out for me, I will probably. I mean, this stuff actually has me thinking on some things. I'm like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
okay,
When you're
I see.
looking doing that research, you start looking at opportunities that might be beneficial for ourselves.
Yes. This company is called Buffer, and if I can go back to the main page, yeah. They deal with like social media platforms, but this company is one of those like startup companies. They deal with analytics. They got plan and publishing. It's centered around social media platforms, and their career site is down here. And I think they're fully remote. Working at Buffer is more than just a job. Um, they have, let's see, the open roles. Uh, I know this is a fully remote company here.
Okay.
Yeah, Buffer is a fully remote team spread across the whole planet. We have teammates in 15 countries, 11 time zones, 42 cities. As a member of our team, you will be invited to work wherever you're happiest and most productive.
All
Love
right.
that.
You can go
I
to Buffer right
love
now.
that.
Go to Buffer right
Like,
now.
man. Yeah, so they had the roles here somewhere. Okay, see how open roles. Oh, you got to do the mailing list, but I think they say they don't have any current open. But just keep that in mind there. Stop sharing. Okay, next we have one called that you may know by the name of, here we go, Slack.
Oh,
Careers
Slack's
at Slack.
hiring.
Work with us. Explore remote friendly, flexible opportunities and join our mission to make work life simpler, more pleasant, and more productive. See, they understand that if you're happy and if you're in Ecuador with the rain in the mountains, or Medellin, or wherever, Spain, Africa, as long as you get your work done, you feel productive there. So they have all different types of fields here, from IT to business value service groups. Um, they have these are like consultant roles, account partner. They got customer experience agent in Dublin, other two other locations. Let's just see something as small as this role. I'm assuming it's a smaller role. But let's see what is involved. This is actually in Australia. What is needed on here? And what we be doing, provide fast and accurate personalized communication to Slack users through email, phone, live chat. So kind of like that. What's that job? Drip, the one you had, kind of reminds me of that a little bit, Tiffany.
Yeah, drip.
Um,
Yeah, it does remind me of that.
uh, so like, I think you
Looks
may
like
not
they have
even
a
need a degree for.
looks like they have the filter. I would suggest people use that filter that's on their site. Um, find the ones that say remote and then your location. So if you want remote out of Jersey or New York, the Carolinas, they've even got Ohio listed here. Let's see.
See, I think you don't even have to do, but I think you probably just search remote because you could work for the Australia branch remotely, from what I'm understanding, or you can be in Australia right here.
Oh wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why it has like two of those there. Yeah, so you have that. You also have let's see here. Um it was Slack. Um where's the other one? It's another one I know too. Oh, and of course we know this one, Dropbox.
Oh.
Dropbox is remote. Wherever we are, we work together. That sounds like remote work type of lingo to me. Um, and so I remember seeing Dropbox have a lot of jobs on LinkedIn. Um, but you got Canada remote. Um, yes, Canada, Ireland. Yeah, you see remote by all of these.
Wow.
You get remote by all of these. Most of these are IT. This is finance. So you got a few specialist roles, analysts. Um, a good bit of these roles are transferable.
Yeah, if you've got transferable
Um,
skills.
product analyst, senior data analyst, and I always want people to know that they're like, you don't have to be an IT SME to get a lot of these jobs. Sometimes you just got to read the content. I mean the job description. You got sales strategy associate. Um,
Now, I have a question for you guys. These jobs, and when I started, before I started this actual job, I was looking for a remote job, and a number of jobs listed remote, but they had a percentage of coming into the office. So these are completely 100% remote.
Well, you
They're
have to read a description because what they usually those who have they call it hybrid.
right.
Hybrid is where you can work remote 3 days a week and they want you to come in the office 2 days a week. Um, that's typically the hybrid model.
Okay.
But you really just have to look at the description, and if you get the interview or you talk to the recruiter, you can always message them on LinkedIn and ask, "Hey, I'm interested in applying for this position. I see that it says remote. Just wanted to validate if it's 100% remote or if it's a hybrid model." Um, or you can just apply for it and then wait for them to contact you and then see what they say upon interview. And Adrian, there's
mm-hmm.
one on this site that's a project manager for communications, and that's a great one. If you are interested in step into project management, if you've got a senior role in a different field, or a program manager role in a different field. That's easily transferable. If you've been a coordinator in other roles, other companies outside of technology, you could certainly use your transferable skills to take on a project management in communications and culture position here at Dropbox.
Yes, definitely. And I want to just dig a little deeper into these um, job descriptions because that's where you can, like how you're saying, Jermaine, with the uh, trying to understand if it's hybrid or if it's, if it's you got to come in off sometime. Like here at this part right here, this is like the nuts and meat and potato of the actual job description. It tells you 90% of what you need to know in these requirements before you even need to send it off. So like for this job here, sales strategy associate, one thing that will always kind of discourage people with just getting any job is, do I have to have a degree? A lot of it's a lot of people that don't have a degree in the US. And there's a lot that do have it. But for the people who don't have it, you just getting the bottom of the barrel job, just to be honest with you. Like, you need to be at a job like this, I'm sure is probably paying in the high 20s or 30s a year for this job right here, which is a pretty good salary. But most of the time they want a degree. So with this one here, it says it doesn't say anything about a degree, so that's good. Apply for it. Like, look at the experience, 3 to 6 years. And this is where you're gonna have to learn what I have now. How can I apply it to what I'm doing now? And because I thought about you, Jermaine, too, because you got that Salesforce experience. So something like you already doing now, you could switch to something like this or something like that. Now, the one kicker is this strong SQL and Excel skills. Now, when they put strong, you may be using it a good bit of the time. And then when they say strong, like how strong is strong? Like strong, like for his, like I write in SQL. But when somebody asks me how good is my SQL skills, that's a very cloudy question, because if you want to be strong in SQL, you could just be writing script where you're taking that SQL syntax and you putting it into a program to run a program or whatever. Or are you just querying on a database? Am I just saying a simple select statement where I need to find out how many jobs did Tom get for the month of January versus March? So I would query with a SQL statement on a database for that. So there's two different ways of saying is it strong. So that's like the only thing that kind of looks a little intimidating on this, but everything else is very simple. And these are skills where you can just go on to YouTube, Udemy, pay $15 and just learn something a little simple, or Excel skills. They have tons of free things on YouTube for free to show you how to do VLOOKUPs. If you learn how to do a VLOOKUP, you have all the experience you have in Excel you need, really, because that's like the hardest thing you usually have to do is a VLOOKUP.
Yeah.
But
or build tables.
Yeah, tables or pivot tables. If you learn VLOOKUP, pivot tables, create tables, if you do the simple commands, like the simple sum, learn how to sum, learn how to add rows, or just kind of like the little bells and whistles, you can learn all that on Excel, all those tricks on Excel. But and then a lot of people expect for you to already know that, so they really won't question. They will question you about the SQL. They will ask you about that. So you can go on to I gotta find 3schools.com, and you can learn how to do SQL there. I'll put it in the chat how to a great site. Any type of coding you need, SQL, Python, JavaScript, you can learn it on this one school.
And don't forget
So
about
yeah, I just
YouTube
wanted to.
University. YouTube University is a valuable source for learning.
You know, it's interesting when you see these requirements, say, you know, Microsoft products or Excel or something like that. So my job was when I applied, it said strong Excel. And all I'm doing every day is reading a spreadsheet. We have a program called Power BI, which pulls data out of Oracle, and it compiles the spreadsheet for me. All I do is make it neat and send it to customers. Before, which is interesting that you guys mentioned VLOOKUP, which is before I've been in so many jobs where I was working with different spreadsheets to get information from this spreadsheet to put it on this spreadsheet. And then the managers never taught me the VLOOKUP or nothing like that. I had to learn that kind of on my own. And it just makes things so much easier to know that small bit of information, that small task. But, you know, it's I would say to people, don't be too intimidated of certain requirements. Most companies just want to feel comfortable with you having that background. But sometimes you don't even you don't need to be proficient or anything in that. You just need to know how to move around a little bit in it, know the basics, and then you're offering them. You learn things as you go. You'll pick up new skills as you go within certain aspects. But script, wow, that's you need a little training on some script.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely on JavaScript.
My enemy.
Tiffany, you said what's your enemy?
JavaScript is my enemy.
Oh yeah. I learned a while ago. I was trying to get in. You know, they had those little boot camps, maybe about 6 years ago. Learn code in 6 weeks, and you can be a developer, whatever. Man, that is not. It is not that easy. It is not that easy. But I tell people that, you know, because in this travel game, especially in these groups, you know, a lot of people like, man, I want to I want to be a developer because you can make a lot of money and you can work remotely. You can work as Fiverr and Upwork. You can do little side projects. You can write your own check if you're a nice coder. But I always say a lot of these roles and skills are really based on your skills, on your personality. Like I am a Scrum Master, and Scrum Master meets more of my personality versus project manager or maybe product owner. I have done some product owner work, but Scrum Master more fits my personality. Getting people together, making people collaborate, removing impediments and blockers. That's what I do all day and every day. That's what I do with just, oh man, y'all fellas chill out, man. Y'all stop arguing with us, man. Let's just chill. That's the only thing I'm doing in the corporate environment. Hey, I know he didn't get this project done right. I know, you know, such and such. We can get this together and we can work this out and meet our deadline. I'm doing the same thing I do when I'm in the barbershop with the fellas talking about Jordan and LeBron versus, you know, here where Tom didn't do this part of the project. Now we already backed up and he mad because, you know, he doing all the work. So I do that every day. So people who if you're not a developer, if you're not a person that can be behind this computer 12 hours without blinking, without stretching, you can be a developer. But if you can't last an hour or two behind a laptop, that ain't your job. That's not for you.
Yeah.
So it's all about the temperament of a lot of these major roles. If you're a boss type dude, an alpha, you know, things got to run my way, product owner, project manager. That's where you're going to be more because in my role as a I've seen other scrum masters kind of fail at being a scrum master because they was a project manager before. They've been project managers for years, and it's hard to unlearn that. I'm a micromanager, I'm authoritative, I'm a dictator, and turn into be a scrum master where you're kind of like subservient to the team. You do whatever the
Yeah.
team wants to do.
Yeah.
The team has the control. You don't have the
Yeah.
control as a scrum master.
Yeah.
So that throws a lot of old school project managers off being a scrum master.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and I'm
go
like
ahead, Tiffany.
Adrian, I'm a Scrum Master, project manager. A lot of these companies want you to have dual functionality now. So my background is project coordinating. So I actually started off, doing admin assistance. So those who have executive assistants or admin assistants, that kind of a assistance works. You can easily transfer any of that skills to being a virtual assistant. People are paying top dollar for virtual assistants these days. Go on to those, Google virtual assistant and find a place where you can upload your credentials and your what you've done and put yourself out there as a virtual assistant. That's a great way if you're wanting to travel internationally, because now you don't have to worry about being tied to a company. You are freelance. So, those in the chat on YouTube that are asking about how to get out of the US. If you can't find a company that's going to allow you to work globally, the virtual assistant is a great way. But I started off as a project coordinator. So it was an easy transition for me to go into project analyst and project management as well as Scrum Master, because I learned how to work for a team. I learned how to be a facilitator. So removing those barriers that Adrian talked about, getting people together, resolving issues, escalating at the right time, knowing who to escalate to, having relationships with your stakeholders and with your team, and understanding what's going on with each project. Those are transferable skills that you can get at any job where you're coordinating things and you're an integral part of making sure the pieces fit together, that communication is standard, and that all parties are aware of what's happening on the project. So be on the lookout for those type of roles as well that are outside of technology, that can easily be transferred.
And I just like to say real quick, if I can, I spoke to both of you guys about my career, and for anybody that is in the chats and have an idea of moving to a different position, first it would be good to understand your skill set and understand how, like Tiffany said, how they are transferable to something else. Because what a lot of us do is we initially look at, okay, that job, okay, that's what they're paying. I could, but you have to be realistic with yourself and understand your skills. Also, don't devalue yourself because your skills are your skills. You just have to understand. Sometimes they'll say, what's an example of something basic, like, or you're doing admin assistant work, right?
Yeah.
Or executive assistant. And, those skills, from just the naked eye, can be, it may not seem like it's a lot, but it's some valuable skill set that can be transferred.
Yep.
simply by guys, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, simply by rewording your skill set. I did this, and it's not embellishing, this is actually what you did, but you're saying it in a different way that may be applicable to the job that you're applying for. So definitely, I think a lot of people need to pay more attention to their resume, and actually, if you can sit down with someone that has the expertise to, dress up your resume a little bit, and that way, you will be a candidate. You can be a very viable candidate for some of these jobs that you guys are seeking.
I see Adrian is
Yeah.
on CBS.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this. If Adrian, if you could go to the search for under this and put in that search box, claims benefit specialist. This is entry level, guys. No experience necessary. And the best part about this role that we're going to show you is some of these have $1,000 sign-on bonus. So this is a remote job.
What?
Yes, a remote job, claims benefit specialist. Then some of them have $1,000 sign-on bonus.
That's what I put right here. Claims benefit specialist. It didn't come up though. What is it?
Oh, while I'm thinking,
No.
sorry.
I can't see your screen very well. Go ahead. Let's see if I can
Uh,
find it.
Real quick, on the systems end, also another point I want to make to guys. On the system end, you can see some jobs that say it's remote, but you got to be careful because some of their systems don't work outside the country. So that's another thing you guys got to take into account and actually discuss. That was an issue for me for a while until I figured out a workaround using different VPNs. But you probably, I know a guy in Florida that got a job working remote, and he was excited about traveling and he couldn't. So.
Right. To add on to that, the reason why that happens is because international IP addresses are usually blacklisted, which means that you have to contact. Well, they have it hard coded to where if any every IP in the world is associated to a country. That's where you have like the virtual IP address, right? So once your internet locks into your VPN, and it says VPN says, "Oh, there's an IP address for me to connect and make this whole system work," then the VPN will be like, "Hold up, this says Ecuador. This is on my list of not to include or not to add for as Wi-Fi." So that's where you get like the system will work, it just won't connect to the internet, which your system works on the internet. So like you'll power up, I'm sure like that laptop will work, like you can go and search whatever, but when you try to do an Outlook or your actual intranet for your company, it won't work because it needs that internet and it needs to be on that VPN. So that's how that all kind of ties together. But in your situation with the VPN makes it masks the Ecuador VPN with New Jersey, Philadelphia, Tampa, and the VPN says, "Oh, Tampa IP address. Okay, let me take that in. All right, we up," and that's how it happens. But that can kind of you can kind of still get exposed with like what's his name, what's that guy from Tampa, Tiffany, gosh, I forgot, he was just on the show,
Jay Clyde.
Jay Clyde explained a great scenario when that, like, if your power goes out in Ecuador or Medellin, Colombia, that little mask can get exposed. The Medellin IP address can peekaboo because it got exposed. Like it could break off a little bit, and it'll show the true IP address. So sometimes if that connection breaks, that's your ass, and it could catch.
That is the truth.
What happened to Jay Clyde.
Okay, so I found some of those remote jobs.
Oh, you found it?
And some of these are administrative. I don't know. I'm gonna put it in the chat, and you can see. Let me put it in private chat, and you can see if you can click on that link and see if it works for you. But I've got 19 live results.
Claim benefit special?
Well, it's that position may not be available anymore, but I found fully remote rep benefits set up
for $1,000.
Yeah. So some of these are like, go ahead.
So I clicked on that link and it took me back to this, the search part.
Okay.
It's still the claims benefit specialist,
Okay. So
but it's not
on the
here.
on the side where it says filter jobs, hit the ones that says fully remote,
Okay,
and
hold
that
up.
should bring up the list of items that I'm looking at.
Fully remote on the side here. I like that they got so many fully remote jobs here. All
And
right.
there's so many categories: customer service, sales, human resources. Um, there's project management, and there's even an administrative position.
Yes, it's 2 pages full of positions. Administrative coordinator.
Hmm.
Man, y'all better get on these jobs, man.
Yeah.
Y'all better get on these jobs. See, these jobs don't even involved um, much of a skill set. I'm
Yeah.
sure. Let's see this
Easily
senior claim.
transferable.
This may be what you're talking about right here. I don't see that money yet though, but
Yeah, the one that I saw had $1,000 sign-on bonus, but that position may not be there anymore. So those who
okay,
work in
yeah.
insurance, if you've worked in insurance, you could be a senior claim benefit specialist at CVS.
See, they're probably hiring so much because of all that paperwork they got with the with the shots and stuff.
Hmm.
They've been taking on a lot of those vaccinations. I can see why they have like an uptick of work. Probably, I can see that. It's very interesting.
Yeah,
Very
Yeah.
shout out
interesting.
to CVS. They've been doing some good work for us. Free free COVID tests. They've been helping the traveler a lot.
Free vaccination, yeah, that free test, yes, sir. That free antigen.
Yeah,
Um,
I see a provider of data
um,
services senior coordinator, case management coordinator. So those I just talked about coordinator. If you've been a coordinator for any field, you can work for CVS right now. They've got a ton of coordinator positions available, fully remote.
yes, they do. Um, I also wanted to jump back over to Ecuador. Um, Look at some of the stuff that uh, some of the benefits of working in Ecuador. Um, how to work remotely from Ecuador. Just cool little website, expatsecuador.com. They have some cool information here. Um, this is a chart of, I'm not sure if this is based on Ecuador or not, but on the uptick of remote jobs. Um, what does this mean, Ecuador-based expats and workers? Why work remotely in Ecuador? All right, diverse environment and cultures, low cost of living, relatively safety, good internet, and say that's an iffy. U.S. friendly with the same time zone. So it's the same time zone. That is something that I
Oh
man,
yeah.
I'm telling you, that thing you may not realize, but when I went to Puerto Rico and that I was an hour behind, no, I was an hour ahead. I was 1 hour ahead, and that it was throwing me off just to be an hour ahead so
Yeah, I was
much.
in Birmingham. I was
And
in Birmingham this week, and they were an hour ahead, and they had the spring forward still.
We are currently behind now. So right now in
they were an
Ecuador,
hour ahead.
no, we're behind. It's
Go
eight
ahead.
o'clock in the state, right? Well, in the
Yeah.
East Coast. So
Right.
right in Ecuador now it's 7 o'clock.
Oh.
Well,
This
see,
was as of
that's why I'm used to working. So I'm like, go ahead.
no, this was as of the daylight savings change that happened in the States. When did it happen? A week or two ago? A few days ago?
No, it
Sunday?
happened yesterday. Yeah,
Yep,
Yes.
yesterday it happened. Daylight
yeah,
savings time.
Saturday night, Sunday morning. Yeah.
Yeah. And the bonus
Yeah.
is the currency is US dollar here. So that's
Oh wow.
another plus.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Um. But so you're in the Airbnb, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think was it cheaper there than Medellin or other places you've been?
It's about the same. You know, Airbnbs, people are inflating the prices. But for the most part, for a month, and you can compare this, anybody can just hearing the number, you compare it with being home. For the month, you're going to pay about $600 if you stay in an Airbnb. Now, versus you getting an apartment and furnishing your own apartment and renting an apartment just like a local, it's going to be significantly lower. But you know, you're seeing $600, $650, maybe $7 a month. Whereas in Boston, where I'm from, you're paying $1,500 to $2,000 for a 1 bedroom. So, you know, I got upstairs, downstairs, as you can see, if you can see behind me, this is the upstairs port, and there's a bedroom over here. Downstairs is a bedroom, kitchen, living room, the whole nine. And then here is a small little office area. It's like a small little office area with the desk and I don't know what kind of chair that is behind me, but it's spacious. 2 balconies. Each bedroom has a balcony,
Wow.
and all
Oh, you're
that.
in a 2 bedroom.
Yeah, yeah. Just in case if you decide to fly down, you got a place to sleep.
For sure. Man, that is sweet. 600 for 2 bedrooms.
600,
That's
and
nice.
you know
That's nice.
it's a decision maker for people living in the States because you know the rents are just increasing and increasing and increasing. I remember we used to make fun of New York. Remember New York, you used to pay like $2,000 for a closet, right? And now the rest of the world, the rest of the metropolitan cities are becoming like that. What is it looking like in the A right now?
Man, a 1 bedroom will run you, I think, for a modern in town is definitely gonna be out, but just average, I think, is 1,800 for a 1 bedroom. I think it's around 1,800. And I live out. I live the 25 minutes out from downtown, and I have a 2 bedroom that's 1,300. And this apartment is old as hell, like it's built in the 80s. So yeah, I had to definitely stay out here because I could not afford in town living. Yeah. So here's 90-day visa, tourist stamps issued at airport. So very similar to like what in Colombia, 90 days, and then get another 90 days extension, probably for a little fee. And this is what kind of like made me like, what is this professional visa? For 2 years, 2+ years. That's interesting. We have also they seem as if they have a little nightlife and partying. This part here showed me the money. They were saying how they take the U.S. money, but the minimum wage in Ecuador is $400, and the average monthly wage ranges depending on the source, 460 to 500. And see, that's where you know like the rent's gonna be cheap when you look at those minimum wages with these countries. You know, like that's why they have to be so reasonable with the rents because they don't pay a lot. monthly to their citizens. What jobs can you perform remotely from Ecuador? Your current previous role, like I got here, Jermaine. Then you got teaching English online, which I want to do something about that because I actually have my TEFL certification. I got it like 2 years ago just to get it. I think at the beginning of the pandemic, and I had planned on probably using it, but I never got around to using it. But at least I have it, already. Digital marketing, content writer, virtual assistant, web development, web design. There go Tiffany right there. She can do some web design for remotely. Customer support, tourism, transcription, and build your own website again. There you go. And investing in trading, which I'm trying to work on myself right now, actually becoming a better trader. So yeah, that was it for that. And I know I wanted to show Jermaine one more thing about Ecuador because I was so concerned about my boy here with with that internet speed. I'm like, because you remember, Tiffany, I told you when I was in Puerto Rico and the power went out. So BLB, I went to Puerto Rico maybe like 2 weeks ago, which I'm gonna work on that video tonight. I went there to work for about 8 days, and in the middle of working, the power just went out in my Airbnb, and I'm like, whoa, I'm like, what's going on here? Call the Airbnb guy, like, hey, the power out. I was in the little kitchen, cooking some eggs and bacon in the middle of one of my little breaks, and I said, hey, how long it's gonna be for this power come back up, man? I gotta meet. It was at 12:30. I remember it was at 12:30, and I had my next meeting was at 3 p.m. And I said, he said it should be back on soon. I was like, soon? Like, what time is soon? Like, I can't accept soon. Like, I need to know what time. Like, I said, man, you know what? And I had meant to go to a co-working space to do some content, just to record one in Puerto Rico. And I was going to get around to doing it, but I said I may let it slip or whatever. But and with that happening, I was like, man, let me go to this place. It was actually like 5 minutes driving. I took a little Uber, 5 minutes. I was there and back up online. And so that's what had me thinking about your situation when you said, you got here, you've been going from Airbnb to Airbnb.
Yeah.
And with me, I cannot be down working remote. Like, I lead a lot of teams. So if I'm not there, they like, where Adrian? Like, he's not online. Where is he? So I have to be present. Like, I can't be missing. So, and I went to Puerto Rico and didn't even tell him. So I'm like, which I don't care about telling him that anyway. As long as I can get on his internet, regardless of where I'm at in this world. But yeah, so I was like, man, I got to definitely find these co-working spaces where I'm at.
Yeah.
And so just with y'all talking, I just looked this up and I'm like, okay, these look, because the place too where I went in Puerto Rico, they wanted $50 for the day. And I was like, whew. I said, man, it's like 1 o'clock. I said, can I get half off? And we actually ended up getting half off. But these co-working spaces here, I saw they had them for the low. Like, it was very reasonable.
Yeah, about between 25 and 40.
Yeah, they open late too, because that place too, I mean, they was like, we close at 5, but it actually stayed open. They just left, the people at the front desk left at 5, but I thought they was gonna close this thing down at 5. I'm like, man, this is not comfortable, for as my work work style, whatever. Sometimes I'm there till like 6 or so. And mind you, we were already an hour ahead. We wasn't an hour behind.
Mhm.
So when it's 5 there, it's 4 o'clock here. When it's 6 o'clock there, it's 5 o'clock here. So,
I think it
but that's only
usually
doing
depends.
daylight savings time.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying what you were gonna say during the daylight savings, the time switching.
Oh yeah. So they
But
got this place called Working Up.
I've been in some situations in Medellin where I had to go to Sweet Georgia Cafe to get the rest of the work done because I have a whole bunch of meetings on Teams. And fortunately, the IT team, I don't know if they did this on purpose, but they sent us some downloads. So there's a download and a code to get all this stuff on your phone. So if my computer has an issue with the internet, I usually always get a phone service in my phone from the country I'm in, and I'll just use their internet and conduct my meeting on Teams.
Yeah, that can be helpful.
Oh yeah, the teams on the phone. Yeah. Yeah. But see, these rates are like $39 a month. Like these are some good rates. And I'm sure they probably
Yeah.
got like those internet boosters where their speed is a little bit more faster than the standard house internet. So it's definitely an option. They look very cool little working spaces too, very artsy, and it seems like they have a lot too. Um, See, I could pay that $50 for the week or that $50 a day, which I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to come back here and work, man. Like, that's a lot of money for a day.
Yeah.
$50, So yeah, so we are about 17 minutes over, but good stuff, all good stuff. So that is it. I thank you all for coming to see us, the panel, Mr. Brown Liquor Baron. What you got coming up on your channel this week, sir?
We got a recap of my first night out in Quito, and some local spots to go get some food that I'm going to be reviewing or giving a review on. So we got that coming up. And I should be dropping a video tomorrow about the same subject, but I'm going to go in depth on it on Thursday.
Awesome. I have one question for Jermaine
Definitely.
before we get out of here. How you feel about Tom Brady coming back?
That man need to go sit down somewhere. You need to stop.
Yes,
all right, so you guys
Tom
can find me.
Back.
You can find me on my socials, sports_n_heels on Instagram. My website, which launched last week, www.sportsandheels.com. You can find me on Twitter under the same name, Sports and Heels, as well as TikTok. Look out for more blog posts, more travel posts, more content, more sports, more track and field, and more Matic Mondays.
Yes, I want to find Mr. Brown Liquor Baron's channel again. I myself, when I get this up, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check out your channel. Get back to you have
I got the link.
let me see. You got the link?
I do. I have it on my website. It's also it's linked on my website as well. for tonight's episode. So I'll put that here
Okay.
in chat. That's
Yeah,
in
that is
chat.
Brown Liquor Baron's website. I see he was out in them streets. I definitely got to go out there and check that out.
You guys got to see that video. There was a couple guys that was plotting on me a little bit.
Oh no. What is I'm looking for that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got to definitely keep your head on the swivel everywhere you go in this world. Let me go back through. I would like to appreciate Razor Rays. He's definitely one of our travel brothers with the $5 donation. I appreciate you, sir. Definitely check out Razor Ray's channel, Cartagena. He's from New York too, I believe.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So that's all I got, man. Definitely like and subscribe to the channel. Go back and look at those job postings we went through. A lot of good gems in there. We'll be back the next Monday with another great show, talking about more remote work, trying to get you into these remote jobs, man, so you can be traveling like these two. She went to Alabama and did what she had to do and still made that money, and BLB traveled all the way to Ecuador and still making that money. Hey man, don't need to use no PTO, man. Just go ahead and get on that plane. And that's all I have. And with that, we gone. Appreciate y'all.
Have a good night.
All right.
See you next time.
Good night. All right. Bye.